Hello dear friends, and welcome to Learn English by 24/7 Stories. Here, every story is a lesson, and every word brings you closer to confidence. We believe learning English should feel warm, easy, and full of emotion. So, sit back, listen slowly, and let your heart understand before your mind does. Because here, we don't just learn English. We live it, one story at a time. In today's story, we will enjoy The Boy Who Shared His Bread. And remember, at the end of the story, we will learn one new English word and one useful English sentence. So, stay with me till the end. In a small village surrounded by green fields and tall trees, there lived a poor boy named Rafi. Rafi was only 10 years old. He lived with his old grandmother in a little mud house near the river. Every morning, he woke up early, helped his grandmother with chores, and then went to school with a small bag and a piece of bread in his hand. The bread was simple, made of wheat and a little salt. But Rafi always smiled when he ate it. He knew that even a small piece of bread could make his stomach full, and he always thanked Allah for it. One sunny morning, while walking to school, Rafi saw a thin, hungry dog sitting near the road. The dog looked weak and tired. It was clear that it had not eaten anything for days. Rafi stopped and looked at his bread. Then he looked at the dog. He thought, if I give my bread to the dog, I will stay hungry. But if I eat it alone, the poor dog will stay hungry. He closed his eyes for a moment and smiled. Then he broke his bread into two pieces, one small, one big. He gave the big piece to the dog and kept the small piece for himself. The dog wagged its tail happily and started eating quickly. Rafi sat near the tree and ate his small piece slowly. Even though he was hungry, he felt something new inside, a warm feeling, like peace in his heart. When he reached school, his stomach was still a little empty. But his heart was full. At school, his teacher, Mr. Salman, asked everyone, "What did you do today that made you happy?" Some children said, "We played." Some said, "We ate sweets." When it was Rafi's turn, he said softly, "I shared my bread with a hungry dog." The class went silent. Everyone looked at him. Mr. Salman smiled gently and said, "That was a very kind thing to do, Rafi. Remember, when we share what we have, even if it is small, we become rich in kindness." The other children clapped for Rafi. For the first time, Rafi felt special. When school ended, Rafi started walking home. The dog was waiting near the same tree. This time, it followed him slowly, wagging its tail. Rafi laughed and said, "So you are my friend now?" The dog barked softly, as if saying, "Yes." From that day on, wherever Rafi went, the dog followed him. They became best friends, a boy with a kind heart, and a dog who never forgot kindness. That evening, when Rafi reached home, his grandmother asked, "Why are you smiling, my dear?" He said, "Because I made a new friend today." His grandmother smiled too and said, "When you give food to someone hungry, you are actually feeding your soul." That night, before sleeping, Rafi whispered to himself, "Sharing makes life beautiful." And with that happy thought, he closed his eyes and slept peacefully. The next morning, Rafi woke up early as usual. The sun was shining softly through the small window of their mud house. His grandmother was already awake, sitting on the floor, making bread on the hot pan. She smiled and said, "Rafi, take this bread to school. Eat it during your break." Rafi took the bread carefully and put it in his old lunchbox. Then, as he stepped outside, he saw his new friend, the dog, waiting near the door. The dog wagged its tail, happy to see him. Rafi laughed. "Come on, my friend. Let's go to school together." They walked together along the dusty path. The dog stopped near the same tree where Rafi had shared his bread the day before. Rafi gave him a small piece again, then continued his walk to school. When he reached school, something surprising happened. The principal, Mr. Hanif, was standing outside with Rafi's teacher, Mr. Salman. They were talking about a missing bag. One of the students, a rich boy named Imran, had lost his school bag. Mr. Salman said, "Children, if anyone finds Imran's bag, please tell me." Rafi nodded. He didn't say anything, but he decided to look for it after class. That day, while going home, Rafi saw something shining near the riverbank. He ran closer, and there it was, a blue school bag lying in the mud. He picked it up carefully and saw a name tag, Imran Khan. Rafi smiled and said, "Alhamdulillah. I found it." He cleaned the bag with his small towel and carried it back to school. When he reached there the next morning, he gave the bag to Mr. Salman. Mr. Salman called Imran and said, "Rafi found your bag near the river. He brought it back safely." Imran was surprised. He looked at Rafi for a few seconds. Then he said quietly, "Thank you." For the first time, Imran smiled at Rafi. Until that day, Imran had never spoken kindly to poor students. But Rafi's honesty touched his heart. During the lunch break, Imran sat beside Rafi under a tree. He opened his tiffin box, which was full of sandwiches and fruits. He looked at Rafi's small piece of bread and said, "Would you like to share my lunch today?" Rafi smiled. "Yes, of course." They both started eating together. The other students looked from a distance, surprised to see the rich boy and the poor boy sitting together. Mr. Salman saw them and smiled. He thought, kindness spreads like light, one heart to another. From that day, Rafi and Imran became good friends. Rafi taught Imran to be humble, and Imran helped Rafi with his studies. They studied together, played together, and shared everything, just like brothers. Weeks passed, and one day, Mr. Salman announced, "Our school will have an essay competition. The topic is, helping others." All students became excited. Rafi wanted to write about his experience, how he shared bread with a hungry dog, and how that kindness changed everything. He stayed up late that night, writing his essay slowly and carefully. His handwriting was not perfect, but his words came from the heart. The next morning, he gave his essay to Mr. Salman. A week later, the results were announced. To everyone's surprise, Rafi won the first prize. The whole class clapped for him. Even the principal came to shake his hand. Mr. Salman said, "Rafi's essay touched our hearts. It reminds us that helping others is the greatest joy." Imran shouted happily, "That's my friend." Rafi smiled shyly. His grandmother cried tears of happiness when she heard the news. She said, "Your kindness brought you blessings, my son." That evening, when Rafi went to the tree where he had first met the dog, he saw something wonderful. The dog was there again, but this time, she had 3 small puppies beside her. Rafi laughed with joy. He sat on the ground, surrounded by the puppies. The mother dog looked at him as if saying thank you. Rafi whispered, "See? Even a small act of kindness can grow like a tree, giving shade to many others." The wind blew softly, the sun began to set, and the golden light touched his face. It was a beautiful evening, the kind that stays forever in your memory. Thank you, dear friends, for listening till the end. Dizzy. You just learned a new English word, honesty, and a new sentence, honesty is the best policy. And a beautiful life lesson too. Keep learning, keep feeling, and keep growing with us. Only on Learn English by 24/7 Stories. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because here, every story makes your English, and your heart, stronger. Red Heart.